Hello indie game fans, this video is brought to you by GORDIAN Quest, a roguelite deck building RPG that was last seen in the best indie games of March recap video. This combined Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon, and in a similar fashion, decided on the early access model to get player feedback. The current version only has the first out of 4 acts and 6 out of a planned roster of 16 to 20 hero classes, so some ways to go, but the core tactical gameplay that I've seen so far is pretty good, but could, of course, use a little balancing. Each hero has their own unique cards and skills, and a little bird told me that it is also inspired by Ultima, Might and Magic and Dungeons and Dragons, so all very classic influences and certainly worth a play. We also have a giveaway for this game going, so retweet my post on this video and the winner will be contacted via Twitter DM. Contest ends this Friday at 10 PM GMT plus 8, so get to it. It is a good week of new releases, with some unconventional picks for me, but you should definitely find something interesting in this collection of the top 10 best new indie games of the week, starting with ITTA. This bullet hell boss rush action game has long been on my watch list, so excited to finally say that it is coming out. One part Titan Souls and one part Enter the Gungeon, this one is sure to please fans of difficult and challenging games due to the insane bosses and attack patterns. While initially accompanied by a ghostly cat and wielding a revolver, you can unlock new weapons and unique attack styles with a mysterious, crumbling world to explore. The music seems to be pretty haunting and apt for this sort of game, where you explore a world devoid of life, so points for that. Plus, there are also optional accessibility options like invincibility that you can toggle on to avoid getting stuck. Looks super neat and one that I'm excited to see speed runs of.
We've been told some of us are better than the others. We've been told it's never going to change. We've been told it is time to turn the tables. We've been told that we are enemies. But no one told us. To survive, we must try to forget. What made us different?
There have been a number of survival management games over the years, such as 60 Seconds, The Gods Will Be Watching and so on, and Help Will Come Tomorrow is the latest one that does look pretty good. Set in the aftermath of a train crash in the harsh Siberian wilderness, against the backdrop of the October Revolution, your party of characters must cast aside their differences and work together to survive. On top of the basic needs like food, water, shelter, warmth, and so on, the contrast of characters' socio-economic backgrounds is important, where there are class animosities and where you can get to know the stories of these characters. There are crafting, scavenging, and weather mechanics in place, as well as your usual random events, but it's a matter of holding out with the hope that help will come tomorrow.
No one to talk with, all by myself.
Floors, doors, walls, halls, white sidewall tires, and old golf balls.
Sinks, stoves, bathtubs, he'll do. He'll even help clean laundry too.
The thing that immediately stood out to me about the Shattering, of course, is the art style, using a largely black and white palette to great effect.
Faster than a flash.
Can he clean a dirty mirror?
He'll make it bright and clear.
Can he clean a diamond ring?
Cleans anything.
We'll clean your whole house and everything that...
This is a first-person psychological thriller where you are in the mind of the character John, exploring the twisted mystery of what happened.
A different dose this time. I know you're tired, John, but this should take you deeper. We have to try again. I know you think everything is alright, but tell me, how come you can't even remember her name? Let's try one more time. Are you ready?
It is about literally exploring the psyche and trauma that this character has experienced, of discovering the truth and separating it from the lies.
When I count down from 3 to 0, imagine yourself here, in this room. Now, try to concentrate and relax. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1.
All tied together with a central narrative that should hopefully be good.
When I was a little girl, I used to look up at the sky and wonder. Now I can't see the sky anymore.
Another one which I've been looking forward to is Cloudpunk, a narrative adventure game where it is your first night on the job as a member of the Cloudpunk delivery service. This takes place in a rain-drenched cyberpunk metropolis where you have free control over your vehicle, but the most important rules are don't miss a delivery and don't ask what's in the package. The theme and setting comes with the thoughts of the seedy nature of such career services, with the resulting stories and narrative threads being something to experience. Super stylish, and I do like the vertical design of the city, so something that I can't wait to get immersed in.
Fear that at the core of this place is a pulsing heart, fueled by consumption. This is where I live, in the rain, among the clouds.
Touhou fan games are one of the most extensive, being largely focused on 2D vertical shoot-em-ups with the occasional Metroidvania thrown in, but Touhou Mechanical Scrollery got my attention since this is a bullet hell shooter but in full 3D, which does look pretty unique and not something that you would typically see. The insane bullet hell attack patterns are in full 3D now, but with freeform movement, your character is able to zip around to avoid and lunge in at the right time to attack. Melee hits charge up the shot gauge, and shots charge up the spell gauge, allowing you to unleash powerful spell cards and attacks of your own. The familiar grease system is in effect, where you get bonuses if enemy projectiles barely miss you, with a targetable limb system for enemies, an equipment leveling system for your character, and even a hopefully coherent story to tell. Environments aside, the attack patterns themselves look pretty impressive, so this gets on the board with the clever idea. Just a quick note, if you are new here and enjoyed the video so far, be sure to subscribe and check out the Discord channel while you are at it. Here's to more indie gaming coverage, so back to the video. While survival games were the hot trend a couple of years back, developers have continued to put out these titles, and one that looks pretty neat is Nira, sporting a simplistic but very clean-looking pixel art style. You can gather resources, fish, farm, build a base, craft tools, ride a moose or fly a plane, with goblins, ogres and skeletons that will attack you, so it does have most of the expected features. This releases in early access, so I'm curious to see what it will develop into, especially in terms of the story or lore, and what the so-called endgame will be, but based on the trailer, it does look pretty good right now.
Filament is a story-based puzzle game. You find yourself on an abandoned ship and you have to make your way through the ship solving these puzzles, and in these puzzles it's kind of you play like miniature robots and you kind of wrap around pillars with your cable and to turn them on, and that's the basic kind of premise of it.
Another previously mentioned title is Filament, a puzzle game where you wrap filaments around pillars and solve the mystery of what happened on an abandoned space station. One interesting thing that is brought up in developer interviews is that this is fully narrated, so your character just goes off, adding to the character development despite being largely confined to a single one in this game.
I couldn't stop thinking about the others either. I wonder if I'll ever see them again. Or at least begin to understand what happened.
The puzzles, of which there are more than 300, are all the same type of chord puzzles and are variants on the theme, but this is based on the strength of the developer, so I have high hopes that the puzzles will be challenging and stimulating throughout.
The thing that we've been doing from the start of Filament to make it a bit different from a lot of other puzzle games is like the overworld or the hub that you access puzzles from is totally open.
You don't have to solve them in any specific order. You can kind of go where you want, do what you want. If something's a little bit too hard, you can find something else.
I myself do love a great puzzle game such as The Witness, so if this can live up to that, expect to see plenty more of it on the channel.
I guess what I'm trying to say is thank you.
I first laid eyes on Obey Me when the trailer was released during one of those gaming conventions, and this is a 3D brawler where you play as a soul huntress determined to tip the balance of souls in the war between heaven and hell. While it looks like a top-down action game, the animations do seem to correspond more with a beat 'em up with combos and the like, where you can team up with your Hellhound companion for special attacks. Local co-op is also supported, so it should be a fun time, with different weapons to use, upgrades, transformations for the Hellhound and so forth being critical ingredients. If you do love noir, detective mysteries, and a very stylish world to explore, then The Flower Collectors will be of interest.
Who's the body?
He reached out, said he had something for me.
Aldo stayed at the bench last night.
He must have been close by when the murder happened.
Starring anthropomorphic animals, play as an ex-cop in a wheelchair and team up with a young journalist to get to the bottom of this murder.
These things take time. You've only just started.
I don't have time. Please.
I saw someone get shot, and I have no idea how you fit into all this.
I know. Just... let me stay for a moment.
The healer is one of the most critical roles in any game, and while there have been a number of games paying tribute to that, Mini Healer is the latest one with a sweet looking pixel art style. Lead your party to victory against a variety of MMO style bosses, protecting your party, leveling up, and improving equipment. Simple and straightforward, there appears to be both a fixed story campaign with a procedurally generated system for endgame dungeons, but with that sort of art, colour me intrigued, taking the #1 spot. If you enjoyed the video, why not share it with a friend? Check out even more great indie gaming videos, and in this current climate, stay safe and I will see you after the jump.